Ideas Hub can be used in a number of ways. We can certainly use it to fill in a gap in our imagination if we're trying to think of a melody or a bass line or a rhythm or whatever. As we've mentioned in the other two videos, you can certainly do that. But with a little creative thinking, it can be used as a quite effective teaching tool as well. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to show you two examples here. First one here is a straightforward Bach chorale, but there's only the top line noted. Have a listen. So there's nothing fancy going on. However, if I go to the View tab and open the Ideas panel, you can see in the score area here that there are a number of cadences. And this file, for example, could be used as a cadence recognition file. So the way it would work would be you could listen to the cadence. There's an imperfect cadence, or interrupted cadence, or a perfect cadence, could be here. Or a plagal cadence. Could be there. The student could then decide which one of those they want to put at this point. You'll notice that this cadence point has a coloured highlight, which matches the colour here. So any of these cadences will work in this point, and it's up to the student to decide which one they prefer. And they would do that simply by clicking it and putting it in there, and then putting it into context. They might want to try then, let's try the plagal cadence instead. And it changes to the plagal cadence. Let's try that. So I might prefer that one instead. The file was created very straightforwardly. Basically, I created the top line. Then at this point here, at the cadence point, I created one of the cadences, captured the idea, and then edited the idea info to give it a name and a background colour. Deleted it from the score, created a different cadence, repeated the process for those 3 points there. To create the highlight here, I simply, let me show you an example here. You can go to the Review tab, and there's the highlights option there. And you just drag it over the area of your score that you want to create a highlight on. And then once it's created, you can select the highlight, go to the Home tab, and there's a colour wheel there. You can choose a colour there, and you can pick any colour you like. Let's go for a nice pink. Oh. And that colour is in, the highlight is then created. Just make sure that you pick the same highlight colour here as you picked there. So that's one example of how you can use the Ideas Hub in a creative way to enhance your teaching. Let's look at another one. So here we have what looks like a fairly straightforward 12-bar blues, except there are no notes there. But if I go to the Layout tab, notice that the focus on staves is highlighted. So if I hit the P button to play it, so what I've done there is I've created the full score with all the instruments, but then I've just focused on the Fender Rhodes stave using the focus on staves. Now students could use this as a simple backing track to improvise the 12-bar blues on their keyboards. Second time round, you'll notice the strings come in. That's using the Home tab, the Inspector, to highlight the string scores and tell it to play on passes 2 and 3. As you notice, we've got a first, second and a third time bar down here. You could of course then go and add whatever you like on the third pass through as well. But we're looking at the Ideas Hub, so let's have a look on there and see what we've got. View, Panels, Ideas. On the Score tab, because of course any ideas related to the score will be on there. There's 4 beginnings of melodies. So what you could use this as now a listening example, or as the start of a composition. But let's say, for example, I'm going to take this one here, highlight it, put it into the Fender Rhodes part, and then when I play it, the student's task is to listen to the idea in context and see if they like the way that sounds. Let's have a listen. That's not too bad. What about this one? Put that in there instead. Does this sound better? Nah, for me that sounds better. Let's try the green one. Highlight that. Beat one. Paste it. Let's try this. Nah, I prefer the blue one. I know the pink one works okay as well. But you can see you can use that either as a does this melody work with these chords type question, or as a start of a whole new composition. They can use that to start off, and then they carry on using the start that they have there to continue from there. You could even use it as a question and answer. There's a question, they put the answer, put another question in there, they put an answer over there. There's any number of ways you could use the Ideas Hub. Once you start thinking about different things that it can do and how you can put stuff from the Ideas Hub into the score, the only limit then becomes your imagination.